Well, during a time of increased incidents of anti-Semitism, both in Oregon and across the U.S., the Medford Library is hosting a Holocaust remembrance event this week. Newswatch 12's Cameron Baber joins us live from the Medford Library, where she was able to speak with the host of the event. Cameron, what does she say about her program combating anti-Semitism in the Rogue Valley?
Well, Jerry, her approach is quite different, maybe something people might not see in a textbook, but the organization she's with is called Stand With Us, and they have a different approach when it comes to teaching students, middle school and high school age kids, about Jewish heritage and Jewish history, and they all do it within art and writing and communication with these kids. Now, like you said, today I was able to speak with the director of the Holocaust Education Center. Her name is Neely Along Amit, and she talked about her personal experience. She said that she has grandparents who escaped the Holocaust, and growing up she had tradition in her life and she heard all their stories, and her goal is to get young students to learn and understand different cultures and see what sets people apart and talk about those differences. And she told me earlier today that she actually gave a presentation to kids in the juvenile detention center here in Medford, and she said that everyone was really engaged and asked questions that sparked a deep interest in the lives of survivors in the Holocaust. And she said doing this and talking to these young kids and teaching these kids about Jewish culture can really help combat anti-Semitism.
But then we talk about it today. Okay, you know, anti-Semitism is a form of hate. It usually, people who hate usually hate more than one group. So it comes together with racism, and it comes together with homophobia, and many groups are targeted under this package. So, and you know, we always talk to a very diverse group of students. So we tell them, okay, how would you feel if you were targeted? And how would you feel if the hatred toward your group could lead to a genocide? Just think about it.
She goes on to say that anti-Semitism comes from ignorance, and the only remedy to fight against this is education, and that is the reason why they're here at the Medford Library and going around and teaching people about the history of Jewish people and Jewish heritage. Now, she told me that when they teach this, they really want to spark an interest in people to learn about the lives of Jewish people before the Holocaust, to really dig deep and show art and have communication and have those sparked conversations about it. Now, here in Medford, we have seen a little bit of anti-Semitism hate in our area. Now, the Holocaust awareness brings a follow-up about the intolerance and crime here in the Rogue Valley. Now, Medford is the site of a few anti-Semitic crimes in recent months. Now, you may remember we reported on a large public menorah that actually sustained damage twice around the start of this year. Medford police arrested a man for both vandalisms in late December at Vogel Plaza. Now, the Federal Bureau of Investigation says anti-Jewish hate crimes are clearly the most common religious bias crimes in the U.S. Its most recent available data reflected 2019 crimes in the U.S. Now, they show 60% of religious bias hate crimes were anti-Jewish, and the next highest faith-based hate crimes rate is 13.3% that are anti-Islamic or Muslim hate crimes. Now, new information that was released today from secretary.org says regardless of the target of crimes, simple assault is the most prevalent crime in the U.S. It says the most likely location for a crime is within the victim's home. Men and women experience similar overall crime rates. Now, though charted differently for different crimes, and racial inequalities show Black Americans are 7 times more likely to be homicide victims than white people, and Native Americans were 2 times more likely to be murder victims. Now, all these facts and figures are obviously results of harassment and hate crimes here in our region and within the U.S. And like the assistant director of this organization, she says the best way to combat this is through education. So if you have a student, or if you're interested in learning about Jewish heritage and Jewish culture, or life before the Holocaust, or even about the Holocaust, you can attend the events here at the Medford Library. There's actually an event tonight at 6, and there are events tomorrow. So if you want to check that out, you can head to the Medford Library's website to look at specific dates and times for these events. But for now, reporting live in Medford, Cameron Baber, Newswatch 12.